I am the neediest Muslim you'll ever meet. So tonight's show, like every night, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Sirius XM Progress Channel 127, 132. Let me start out with that. Every night I begin the countdown to Judgment Day, 132. That's how many days in the most important election of our lives. And at this point, it's not at all being hyperbolic to say this election is not just the most important political election. It's actually an election that can save lives, as we're watching the horrific mishandling of the Covid-19 crisis play out in front of us. More and more evidence, and just breaking news just minutes ago, across the U.S., more than 36,000 new infections were reported by state health departments today. That makes it the highest number of new infections through this entire crisis. Their old record was 34,200 in April. Today, just moments ago, over 36,000 new cases confirmed today. What is Trump doing? He ignores this. He wants you not to think the virus is there. He's going to have his rallies and not even wear a mask and brag about his selfishness and sadly mislead good Americans who would not be selfish, who actually would care about others, to follow his lead. That's what horrific is going on. In fact, certain states today, you had Texas, Florida, and California leading the way with each 5,000 new cases. And Arizona, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Montana all have new highs in hospitalizations, and that's very alarming. You have places like Houston, Texas, almost at capacity in their intensive care unit. I live in New York City. We went through that. The death toll just grows and grows. And let's hope it doesn't get to that. Trump's showing no leadership whatsoever. What we're having now, it's gotten so bad. The governors of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut jointly announced today, if you're coming from any of these states with high numbers of infections, if you come here, you have to quarantine yourself for 14 days. If you don't do that, you get a fine. That's what's going on right now. And beyond that, Donald Trump just rushed reopen, because Trump's got no plan for the economy. There's nothing in Trump's background. I'm being objective. Yes, I'm a partisan guy, but I'm being objective here. Think about this. Nothing in Trump's background in the business world shows he has any acumen or any skill in turning around a company that was doing poorly. Now the United States of America is a company on some level, an organization doing poorly economically. When Trump had that in the past, he filed for bankruptcy. He did that 6 times. As president of the United States, he can't do that. And I ask you sincerely, what have you heard from Donald Trump addressing the fact we have the highest unemployment now since the Depression, in terms of job creation, in terms of a plan that will help new jobs where old ones are gone because some of these small businesses are not coming back? Have you heard anything? No. He just tweets open, liberate. That was before. Now it's just purely white supremacy. Donald Trump has no plan. And what about, we're going to run out of federal unemployment benefits end of next month. Does Trump have a plan for them? No. Does he talk about universal basic income to help those people in need? No, of course not. He has no plan. His whole plan is literally ignore COVID-19. And sadly, for us as a nation, it's not going away. It's continuing. And through this whole thing today, we learned a stunning thing. And I'm reading right from the reporting. The federal government is ending its support for 13 drive-through coronavirus testing sites effective June 30th. So today we have the highest number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the history of this entire crisis. And now they announce no more support, no more funding, including 7 sites in Texas, which hit a new high today. Trump literally wants people to ignore the virus, step over the dead bodies, go to work, make money so the stock market can go up and he can have another applause line. And speaking of the stock market, because of what we're seeing, it dropped today over 700 points. You can't fool investors. They're seeing closings happening, reclosing in certain states. Again, over 700 points down today. And Trump's all about business. What are we seeing? We're seeing restaurants, electronic retailers, salons, bakeries that had reopened, shutting down again. It's going to cause a loss of confidence in our economy, in investors. And ultimately, of course, there's a healthcare issue that's right in front of us that Trump is not even addressing. Instead, he's joking about, let's slow down testing so we don't have as many positive numbers. I don't know who could think Trump's doing a good job. A new poll came out today, New York Times poll. Nearly 60% of Americans believe Donald Trump has failed in the way he's handled COVID-19, including a majority of white people. That's his base, a majority of white people. Independent voters, 2-1, say he's failed in handling the COVID-19 crisis. He's got no plans. He's got no skills for this. We're on our own. We're in limbo. So this election is not just about politics. It's not just about Donald Trump. It's about electing someone who can save our lives. Again, during the H1N1 crisis in 2009, President Obama and Vice President Biden were in charge. A little over 12,000 Americans died. Ebola, 2014, 2 Americans died on U.S. soil. What a contrast to the scenario we have now. Over 120,000 Americans have died. And each day that sadly the numbers goes up. As a nation, don't we deserve better? I mean, seriously, forget politics. Don't we deserve a president that doesn't make light of this situation? A president who leads by example, by wearing a mask so people understand it's not just for yourself, but for others, because we're all in this together. Don't we deserve a president who, for his own ego, doesn't have a rally at a venue when people who live there didn't want it? Don't we deserve a president who doesn't tear gas his own people so he can have a photo op outside of a church that he never attends? And now they're going to have the Republican National Convention, which Trump's going to jam in there in Jacksonville, Florida. A new poll came out today. A solid majority of people who live in that city of Jacksonville do not want the Republican National Committee there. Forget politics. They don't want it because they fear the spread of COVID-19. Trump doesn't care. It's Trump tyranny. So on the show, we're going to talk about that and more. We're going to talk about Donald Trump's Bill Barr, the Bonnie and Clyde of American government, using their influence to help Donald Trump's criminal BFFs. Apparently, criminal justice reform to Donald Trump is making sure his criminal friends don't go to jail. We're going to be joined by Glenn Kirshner, you know him from MSNBC. He's going to break it down. Congressman Ro Khanna is going to join us. CNN contributor Julian Zelizer, and from Salon.com, great writer Amanda Marcotte. Again, my show live, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, channel 127 on Sirius XM. If you don't have Sirius XM, go to the website, SIRIUSXM.com. There's always free trials. Check it out. I hope you tune in. I hope you join the conversation. We're all in this together, even the Trump supporters. Let's keep each other healthy. Let's wear a mask. Let's be responsible. Let's be our brothers and sisters keepers. Reject the selfishness of Donald Trump. Embrace Americanism. That's my plea. And stay angry.